Alright, hey everyone, welcome back to Luigi's Mansion. Alright, my name is Stormy, and we're just gonna jump right into part 2 here. We already checked these in the last part. A really good tip if you really want to. I believe you can just, like, kind of leave and come back. Actually, I'll kind of test it. Actually, no, because I got the two, or at least, like, the two good treasure spots. Typically, if you leave an area and then come back, like, these, like, bosses or faces, however you want to say it, will actually reset. So that you can actually have another chance at treasure. That's going to be a really good tip here. So we're going to be entering into the first dark room here. I believe, like, once you progress a bit further into the mansion, I believe it is going to be based on how many rooms away you are from something for it to reset. So, nope. I want to do that. Oh, we got a heart. So, again, this is what's going to be, so like I mentioned in the last video, there's going to be, like, treasure spots. This is going to be a treasure spot. Most things that you can interact with this in this game are going to have treasure. So, like, for this, for instance, wow, I actually got that. This is usually one of those ones that, like, I have to come back multiple times to be able to get it to work. We're gonna look up here. Like, there are gonna be definitely, like, good guaranteed spots. They'll always give you something in, like, a little, after solving, like, a little secret. Oh, we got our first achievement. We got over over 1 million gold. Like, yeah, it's that fast. Like I said, you're gonna get a lot of treasure in this game. But first, we're going to, which I want to try to show off, like, a cool speedrun trick. I'll show some of these off, too. You preemptively, like, vacuum, and then you kind of, like, wiggle it back and forth. It works a lot better than the original, but... who put out my candles? Was it you, Mr. Lime Green? Well, dark rooms are dangerous around here, yes. They love the dark, and now they will get you. Bleh. Now you're in for it. Blah. Just like Little Redcap before you. May you wander lost in the darkness forever. Are you afraid of the dark, little man? Are you, huh? Blah, here they are now. And in an encounter, these, like, thorns will appear on the, doors, preventing you from getting out. Alright, our first enemy, Gold Ghost. These are gonna be your standard enemies. There's gonna be standard enemies, and there's gonna be, more important boss ghosts. We'll find a point, I'll point these out, as we go. In standard mansion mode, these guys will have 10 health. They're not very, you know, they're not very threatening. You can kind of take them out fairly easily. So, yeah. With that, we've gotten our first key. A difference between this and the original version is that the game would actually just straight up open the map and show you where the key is. But considering that we came in through this door, I mean, you would be able to see this, but because I can't really display this because of how weird OBS is with trying to capture this kind of stuff, I had to just kind of show it off like the way that it is. So the next key is here. Again, I mean, if you're following this as a guide, then I would imagine that, you know, you'd be knowing where to go. I gotta trust in the audience. I gotta hope that, you know, being able to play a basic game. You know what, like, genuinely depresses me, too, like, living in this day and age? Like, people would probably look at those paintings in that other room, despite this game being made, like, 20 years ago. Oh, that was not very ideal. Oh, that is gotta be the most foul thing I've ever seen. I got jump scared and got punched for it. I tried to... Can you guys, like, get close together? Thank you! I just wanted to do that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, okay, so if you take damage, you just get a heart, you get your heart back. Like, it's not, like, a very hard concept. Oh, no, these purple ghosts. I believe they're called purple punchers. Yeah, they're gonna have 20 health. I believe they'll do more damage. Anytime a ghost hits you, it'll just knock money out of you, and I believe you always lose money. Even if you got, like, some of your money back, you still lose some. It's the kind of tell you, like, hey, stop getting punched. Like, stop being bad at the game. Oh, gold bar. These are going to be worth a lot more, money. Actually, if I pull up the thing here, I like being able to... Okay, I can't pull it up. Yeah, you would be able to... I don't exactly remember how much a gold, bar is worth on the top of my head. I want to... I know it's worth, I think it was like 50,000 or something like that. Well, we're in the wardrobe room, or the dressing room. I think it's the wardrobe room. I can tell I was paying attention. So, here is good. We're gonna do something a little special here. And that's the next ghost. I believe they're called garbage can ghosts. These are gonna be the enemies with the most amount of like HP that in terms of like a basic ghost. So that's gonna be a thing to look out for. They will like drop banana peels. That was actually kind of cringe, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't even mean to do that. I wanted to actually get you. What you want to do first, Gold Ghost Collector. We got another achievement. Awesome. Like I said, like, these achievements are fairly easy, especially like the beginner ones. Like, you're gonna be able to do these really easily. As long as you're checking things and putting in the effort, you're gonna be able to get this stuff just fine. Okay, so what you don't want to do first, don't open this. Do not open this. Not yet. What you want to do instead, you just want to come over here. I recommend pointing your flashlight up. Check this. And here we get a special variant of the Gold Ghost. This is a Speedy Spirit. These guys, when you catch them, there's also going to be another version of the Treasure Ghost. When you catch these guys, they will drop a absolute ton of money. That's why I always will tell you, like, I'll show up. No! I didn't realize there was another freaking bill there. It makes up being able to get this treasure spot really easily first try. That's one of those spots that I typically get stumped on because I don't really, I can't really, like, get that early on. Alright, and we catch this last Gold Ghost, and we get a key. So I want to, like, point out the dressing here. It's actually, like, feels like, you know, a lot of, like, more, like, traditional stuff. Like, you got the Japanese dress right there. You have, like, a... almost feels like a soldier uniform right here. You got a more of a modern dress. You got like a polo and another like it's really cool. I like that. Oh wow! Holy shit! That was a huge lag spike. Holy fuck! Talk to you. Wow, Mario, where are you? Wow, huh, Luigi. Yes, Luigi. How lucky that you found me. I feel so much better now. Please save Mario. I've looked everywhere. I can't find him. Where is he? All right, he's at least not gonna tell me to save the game. I believe most 100% routes because 100% in Luigi's Mansion really just hits like the maximum gold for the best rank possible. But anyway, what you really want to do for a speedrunning trick is instead of what I did with bring the key over here, you want to take the key, of course vacuum, and bring it all the way over here. Click it, and then then you'll be able to get over here much faster. But this has reset this room. Ah! So, you have a poison mushroom here. These suck. So, what those will do is they will turn you mini. And it kind of screws you over even harder because you'll lose a lot of money in the process. Another one? You're actually shitting me. Also, one thing I want to point out is that when you check these treasure spots again, if you already got the treasure from them, they will not drop treasure again. Like, yeah, it'd be a little broken. Nothing from this one. So since we didn't get treasure from this one, we'll come back and check this one a few more times. Actually, before I do that, I don't think I checked this chandelier again. No, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna exit there. Yeah, if you get shrunk, you will be turned tiny. You'll lose a lot of money. And where it gets you is that if you pick up your money, it doesn't actually count for you picking it up. That's, again... It's really, really scummy. So, in short, don't touch the poison mushrooms. And one thing I do want to mention here, too. Oh, hold on. We got dialogue. Oh. Okay, I could just press the A button. Hold up a sec, Luigi. It's me, Professor Egad. I detect spirits stronger than ones we've seen lurking ahead. I completely butchered that. Oh my god. I think it must be some of those escaped gallery ghosts. You should know that they're really different from the other ghosts you've seen so far. They don't show their hearts very easily, nope, not at all. When you find one, you should use to search function to search its heart for clues. Sometimes you learn the best way to surprise them. Well, Luigi, I'll keep my fingers crossed for you. Okay, so if we pull up the thing here, I believe... No, actually, it won't be able to tell me here. We would have to go back to the lab. This game has amiibo support. And some amiibo do have, like, really cool functions. I think the Mario amiibo makes it so any poison mushroom doesn't shrink you. I don't exactly remember the full, like the full effect. I know the boo emote, or boo emote, the boo emote, the boo amiibo. Oh my god. I believe that will, like, give you the location of a boo, I think. Don't count me on that. I'm not exactly too sure. Oh, wrong button. But because I'm playing this on an Xbox controller, so I instinctively pressed the X button on the Xbox controller to fucking open the door. You blame me. Okay, so all the other rooms in this hallway are going to be locked, so what you want to do is come into here. What I recommend you do is you hold out here, let this book come to you. Don't vacuum up the ghost, not yet. I know it might be a little tempting for the stimulation. No, what you want to do first is you want to come over here, pull out your camera, aim it, click on the cheese, suck up the rat, and you get a ton of money. And our first gem of the playthrough, this is going to be an emerald. These are worth a lot of money. These are worth a lot of money. A lot of money. I'm trying to collect all this money so that I don't lose it. Okay, cool. So the next big thing I want to tell you to do, come over here to this chair, look up, and we got another sweet spirit. Oh, that was really close. And this time you get a ruby. Now all we need is sapphire. Man, I wish they brought fucking ruby, sapphire, and emerald to the Switch. It feels like such a waste to not do that. Look, I get it. I mean, like, fire red and leaf green is cool and all, but man, I really want a ruby, sapphire, and emerald. Hell, they could have just done ruby and sapphire, and I would have just been happy. Ho, ho, ho. Go ahead. Try to find me. I can see you, but you cannot see me. Ho, ho, ho. Anywho, I'm getting really sleepy. So that's your hint. So what you want to do is when you look away from him, he'll become visible, and then when he yawns, he will explode his heart. Alright, this is our first boss ghost of the playthrough. This is Neville. Neville, every boss ghost will typically have 100 HP. Oh, shit. Trying to get that away. Okay, I'll explain boss ghost mechanic here in just a second. Wait for that to go away. Okay, so every boss ghost will have 100 HP. They'll have, like, their own, like, character design. And they will drop these things called pearls. Pearls are going to be another form of money, but this also is a way to grade you on how much damage you've done to a ghost. There are 3 ranks of how you do on a ghost. There's bronze, there's silver, and there's gold. I believe with Hidden Mansion, in this game specifically, there is platinum. We'll get to that when we get to that. That's not important right now. I believe if you do up to 50 damage, with an exception clause, with an exception, if you capture a ghost and immediately let go, without going over 10 HP damage done, you can recover and still get a big pearl. From 50 to 90 you're gonna get medium pearls. This is how you know you're gonna get silver. And if you've done 90 consecutive damage, with that exception, if in case you have to immediately let go, you've done 90 or a complete full capture of a ghost, you will get the big pearl, which is going to be worth a lot of money, and that's how you know you've gotten a gold rank on the ghost. Really cool stuff. Again, it's a really cool grading system, and it pushes you to do better in case you don't. We'll read the thing here. The bookish father, Neville, 42 years old. Neville spent his afterlife reading all the books he missed while living. Again, not very, you know, you're not going to be eating a whole lot of big lore with some of these ghosts, but yeah, like I mentioned too in the earlier, like I feel like a lot of people these days would see some of these freaking paintings and, you know, despite this game being made, you know, like 20 years or some shit like that ago, like they'll be, oh, it's AI. That is truly how rotted people are these days. But it's really cool to see, you know, the AI bubble beginning to burst, if I want to talk about that briefly. And God, is it good? Good. You know, embrace actual art and creativity. God. Okay. This, ooh. Honestly, I might do something a little bit different here.
Mario.
I am not at all confident. I'm not confident in this particular fight because I don't know why. Like every like couple playthroughs or so, I get royally screwed on her. I mean, crap. I'll just. Hey, I'm glad I came back and checked. Yeah, sometimes that happens where he kind of just knocks on nothing. Yeah, I kind of know. I just kind of get royally screwed with her. And, yeah, this is gonna be the first time I save. I typically try not to save when I'm recording because in case, like, I save after every checkpoint or so. If I'm like, hey, I did like a ton of videos for the day, I'm gonna recording, then I'll typically save then. It's just because in case something goes wrong and I need to restart from a certain checkpoint, that's typically why I don't do it, but, yeah, that's typically kind of the reason why I don't, do that. Okay, so if you check this, we can kind of stay away from that. You can kind of track where it's going, through the thing. But if you take your vacuum out and you blow on the fan, do it enough, and you get an actual crap ton of cash. I believe it's 25. Really cool. These plants over here, not much we can do with them right now. We're gonna come back to these later, because they're gonna be a source of a lot of good money. We'll just kind of check you. I'm not gonna check every single ghost, just kind of like the first few to kind of like give a generalized like, hey, this is what you can do. Is my hair just gorgeous? Of course, I do spend a lot of time on it. I was so bored cooped up in that painting. Now I spend all my time in front of the mirror. It seems to scare people, though. So everything is coming up roses. So we need to do something to make her hair get all messy. So just take this and do that. And typically why I don't, like, follow that sort of system is because, like, honestly, in my opinion, like, half the time, like, it doesn't give a very good hint. Like, that's, like, kind of like one of those weird instances. Oh my god, yes I did it. Okay, shit. I get... Lydia is... Holy shit. Dude, that was so freaking close. Oh my god. That was terrifying. Okay, so as of right now, the current stats is you should have 8 small, 8 medium, and 2 big paroles. Alright, let's bring up Lydia. You're gonna hear me clicking. Mother in front of the mirror. Lydia, 34 years old. She stashed away her secret savings away to prepare for her long afterlife. Yeah, not very, like... not very, like, descriptive. Especially with some of the hints. They just don't do a whole lot. Also, the first couple paintings that you saw in that first room are of Neville and Lydia. And I do like the idea that, it is, like, tactically real people. Like, this isn't just, like, illusions created. Like, these are, like, they were real people in real, in a life before they passed. As if you could absolutely struggle with where to go. Alright, let's head in here. Now, a really, really cool thing to know, if you check this, it has a guaranteed big heart every single time you check it. And so that's always, like, if you get down on health, you need to, like, find a quick, health spot. That's also just, like, a very good spot to do that. I believe, like, I think Luigi has, like, a really funny, like, dialogue if you check the picture of the baby. No, that's just not my style. Yeah, Luigi does have some pretty, like, really funny reactions here. You know what? Frick it. I'll do it for at least the Ghost of Area 1, and then we'll kind of just stop after that. Check the baby. Horsey, Rocky, Horsey. Like, okay, that one's pretty explicit with what you need to do. You need to rock the horse. There you go. Again, it's something like that that's, like, fairly, like, obvious what it wants you to do. Like, hey, you want to play with me? No. In fact, I really don't want to play with you, so, like, go off somewhere. Yeah, I was trying to get the ball. Owie, owie, you gave me an owie. I just wanted to play with you. I hate grown-ups. Why do you have to be bigger than me? I've had enough. Small, now grow smaller. Small, itsy, tiny, little, weed, goo, ga, goo, goo, ga. Yeah, don't worry. I hate, you know, I hate adults too. Take a drink there. And we got our first big boss fight. You have your normal, like, fodder ghosts, you have boss ghosts, and then you have the area boss ghosts. And this is the first area boss. You'll know it's an area boss when you have this, like, absolute, like, wacky, you know, background. It's so trippy. It looks cool, and I like the RGB on it. Alright, this is Chauncey, the first boss of Area 1. Chauncey is not very hard. It's more to introduce you to the concept of, like, area boss ghosts. At least in standard version, or in standard mansion, or I think, like, what they call the hidden mansion mode. No freaking way I took damage on fucking Chauncey, dude. Okay, I'll explain this in a hot minute. Okay. So, with area boss ghosts, the idea is that you want to get them down to down to 0 to capture them, but they'll have like gimmicks and they'll have technically like phases. So since I did, I believe over half of Chauncey's health is gonna go into phase 2, and every time you suck, and the amount of jokes is gonna be so bad. The more damage you do on Chauncey, if you get him over halfway, he will enter phase 2, and he's gonna do his forces, and these will do a lot more damage. Or they're gonna be a lot faster, but honestly, again, it's not very hard. You can just easily avoid it. Okay, so let's talk about the next mechanic of the area boss ghosts. Area boss ghosts, with how they're ranked, is much different from how it is with normal boss ghosts. With normal, oh my god, 2 cycle. That's huge. I know speedruns can do it in 1 cycle, but that's really cool. So, area boss ghosts are determined based on not the damage you do, but the damage you take. I believe once you reach, if you go under 90 health, right, if you go from, you know, once you take more than 10 damage, you are no longer eligible for the gold rank, and I believe in platinum, I think it's like 5 or 3. Like, yeah, it is, you know, that's just not my style. I didn't mean to do that. Again, it's gonna trip me up because I keep pressing that. And for that, it's pretty much how it's ranked. I just wanted to explain that, you know. I'm trying to do this funny thing. They must have fixed it, and, yeah, because this does feel like it's a bit more further away from the thing. There used to be a really funny thing you could do on the original, but... Alright, nothing there, but yeah, no. I believe if you take up to 50 health, if you take less than 50 health, I believe you're guaranteed for the silver, and I believe if you take more than 50 health, then you are no longer eligible, you get the bronze rank, and that's admittedly very hard to do. This is not a very hard game, so... Like, again, I have never played the Hidden Mansion mode in this game, so I just say that now, but, like, yeah. Luigi, Luigi, can you hear me? Oh, thank goodness you're okay. I lost contact with you all of a sudden. I was a tad worried. I mean, you seem to be tuckered out after that long battle, don't you? Why don't you go back to the lab? When you vacuum a boss ghost, your Poltergust 3000 gets pretty much full to bursting. Oh ho, I guess you really showed that boss ghost who's boss. Alright. Cool stuff here. Again, another loading screen. Kinda sucks, but... Good job, Luigi. You made it back in one piece. Take a gander at this. This fine piece of work took nearly 20 years to develop. I call it the... I'm gonna try this here. The Ghost Portrificationizer. This machine lets us turn the ghosts you catch into paintings. Not only that, it works in reverse too. how do we use it, you ask? Well, it's simple. Just plug that Poltergust 3000 into the slot and enjoy the ride, my boy. And they will do just that. And there we go.
Oh, yeah.
We've caught 3 ghosts. That's the most amount that you can get in Area 1. Every time you complete an area of the mansion, there's, I believe, 5 areas in total. I think that the game counts. You'll come back here with one exception to that rule. So we need to press them into invisible forms. Also, kind of cringe. I believe they changed it from the original into this version that, you know, the ghost that was on the zappy thing, I believe that's what it was. There used to be a ghost of beta. That used to show ghosts that were part of the beta around a table. It's like a really neat way to show that some of the beta stuff survived into the final game of the original version, but I believe they changed that in this one. Remember to turn those ghosts back to paintings. Thanks for your help, Luigi. Area 1, you've caught and gold. We've caught a total of 3 ghosts. Press the A button. I played for quote-unquote 22 minutes, but ghost defeated 26, treasure acquired 8.5 million. Actually, we'll be able to see here. It's worth 100,000? What? What? I didn't realize it was worth that much. No. Okay. So with that, we can. What do you want to do, Luigi? We're gonna go to the gallery real quick. We'll kind of go there after every single, like, area. Area 1 is cleared, so you're gonna see, down here. Actually, we check this. No, not that. If you use Slit Portrait Battle, you can fight ghosts you've already captured. However, Amiibo cannot be used. Okay, so for some here, if you can see that this is the gold frame. If you want to check the silver frame, this is what it looks like. And then here's the bronze frame. We'll kind of check that out. And while we're looking at it, the spoiled baby, Chauncey, 1 year old. He cries loudly and never sleeps through the night, but since he was born a ghost, this seems natural. And yes, you can refight boss ghosts, as far as I know. I think the area boss ghosts you can refight. I'm not exactly sure about these ones. We'll check this one. Oh no, you can do it for every ghost. That's actually kind of cool. The bookish father, Neville. Of course, we already went over his. Here's the silver frame. And here's the bronze frame. Yeah, you kind of know, like, that you get it. You know, the more detail is added to, like, a portrait. So since there's a lot of detail here, that's how you know you got the gold frame. Here's Lydia. Here's her gold frame. Here's the silver. And here's the bronze. I actually really like this change. I think that's really, really cool. So, a really, really cool feature there. I do really, really like that. We'll check our achievements here, see what we have done. A novice hunter, we're still working on that. Caretaker, that's going to be watering a plant. Burn a fake door, we'll be able to do that soon. Obtain 5 pictures of portrait ghosts. Unfortunately, we won't be able to do that just yet. I believe we can't check any of the other achievement lists right now. And yeah, okay, so here you go. Here's what this does. Oh yeah, gold ghosts. It actually tells you the name of these enemies and how many of them you've defeated. So gold ghosts, we got, you know, we got 11 of these. Speedy Spirits, a pale blue ghost who is quick to flee at the first sight of danger. Purple Puncher, a swift pink ghost who uses uppercuts to hurt foes. Garbage Can Ghost, a banana-eating ghost who hurls the leftover peels at enemies. Blue Mouse, Purple Mouse, Gold Mouse. That's how I'll be able to check all those. And we won't be able to do much here. So, we'll kind of be on our way. Did quite a lot in this video, which is always really, really nice. I don't really typically have a time frame to where how long I think I want my videos to be. I kind of just, like, do a lot of stuff. And I'll kind of just call it quits at a certain point after I feel like I've done enough. But we're going to return to the mansion. And of course, we're gonna skip this. Of course, on the cool lightning frame. And I think that is where we're gonna end it off for today. Actually, there's one more thing I want to check before I cut the episode. Again, I want to try to check this as much as I humanly can because, you know, I like being able to ensure that I'm not missing out on anything. Nothing there. Nothing. Actually, I do want to show this off. When you complete an area, the area will get lit up, so you won't have to worry about, you know, being in the dark.
Mario.
We'll check through here. There's a couple rooms I want to check here. Just before we quickly end the episode, just to... No, wait, no, I got the gold bar from that. I don't need to check that. Yeah, that's what I wanted to get from that. Okay, cool. So we don't need to check that anymore. I do want to check these. Nothing there. Money there, so that's really, really good. That's what I want. Oh, cool. Just a heart. I believe most, like, hearts like these are randomized. But they're guaranteed, like, big heart locations. So I get 2 for 2 on hearts. Okay, I was gonna say. If I got 3 for 3 on hearts, that would have been a little silly. But I think, on that note, exit the parlor here. I think next time on Luigi's Mansion, we are going to be heading off into Area 2 and getting started on that, alright? So thank you guys so much for watching. I got a lot done in this video, which I always like to see. And, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys. Oh, cool, this doesn't fall anymore. I'll see you guys in the next part, alright? Have yourselves a fantastic day. Peace out.